Hello, my fellow movie fans. It's me, Stacia. This is day 10 of my 25 days of Christmas movies. So we have made it 10 days. Means we have 15 days left. Think I can do it? Maybe. Today, I'm doing this a little late. I thought I might miss today, but here I am doing it. I just have to get it edited and up before midnight, so I have time. You can see Max back there joining us. So today's movie is going to be from 1940. It is the movie The Shop Around the Corner. This movie is directed by Earnest Lubistch, and this movie does star James Stewart as Alfred, Margaret Sullivan as Clara. It has Frank Morgan as Hugo Makuchek or Machuchek. I think I was saying that wrong. I'm sorry. He is the shop owner, and you will notice Frank Morgan as the wizard in Wizard of Oz. And of course, everybody knows who James Stewart or Jimmy Stewart is. And if you don't know, he is the main character in It's a Wonderful Life, among many other classic movies. Basic storyline for this movie is two employees at the same shop, Margaret Sullivan's Clara and Jimmy Stewart's Alfred, can hardly stand each other. They both have pen pals that they are very fond of and have never met, but they end up being each other's pen pals. Basically, that is the basic story, an enemies to lovers type of thing. And you'll notice this story is very similar to the story of You've Got Mail with Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks from the 90s. And basically, that movie is based on this same story. This is a charming little movie that takes place around the holidays. It is supposed to be, this is a story that takes place in Budapest, Hungary. But of course, besides them mentioning that, you wouldn't tell that this is Budapest, Hungary. It seems more because they're all basically American, speaking in English. They make hardly any attempt to make it seem like Budapest. When I think of this movie, I always think of it as New York City, but it is supposed to be Budapest, Hungary. This movie is also one of the rare occasions where a movie was shot in sequence, which if you know anything about shooting movies, that is a rare occasion. Usually it has a lot to do with what locations and settings are available, and if you need it for a scene later in the movie, it's shot out of sequence basically. But this movie is one of the rare occasions where it was shot in sequence. But this movie is also based on a stage play, and Earnest Lubistch purchased the rights to that play for $7,500. This movie also cost less than $500,000 to make, and they shot it in 28 days. Jimmy Stewart was also the top of Ernest's list to play the main character, as well as Margaret Sullivan was his first choice to be the main female character. He actually waited for both of them to be available before making this movie. He actually made a whole other movie waiting for them to make this one. In the film, it does take place over a 6-month period from summer to Christmas Eve, but most people do consider this a Christmas movie because of the end of the movie takes place during the Christmas time. This movie was also shot at MGM Studios. The action of this movie is also supposed to take place during 1939 in Budapest, Hungary. You'll notice there's no mention of World War II in the movie, which is probably because the play that it is based on was actually based in 1937. I have no idea why the date was pushed up a little bit, but it was, and this movie did come out in 1940. Probably they didn't want, in a basically rom-com type of movie, there to be mentions of war. I believe the play that this is based on is called Parfumerie or Perfumery. That was my bad attempt to say it in French, even though it's a Hungarian play. I won't even attempt to tell you the Hungarian name of it because I don't even know where to begin with that. Also, in 1940, I don't think Budapest, Hungary had much involvement or was affected that much by World War II. So that also explains for the lack of any mention of World War II in this movie. And besides this movie being retold in You've Got Mail, it also inspired a Broadway play. That play is called She Loves Me. It premiered in 1963, and so you have a lot of potential to see this story told several times. All in all, it's a great little movie. People love this. It has a phenomenal Rotten Tomatoes score. It is considered one of the best movies of all time. So if you're a film fan and you have never seen The Shop Around the Corner, you need to check it out. But if you're just a fan of movies or love romantic comedies or a fan of Jimmy Stewart or any of that, you should see this movie if you haven't. It is another charmer of a little film I think you'll love. And if you are a fan of You've Got Mail, I suggest you check this movie out too. I guarantee you'll like it. Again, this is Stacia. I have made it 10 days into my 25-day Christmas movie journey. I hope you join me again. Thank you so much for joining me. I have over 50 subscribers now, and I want to thank each and every one of them. I really do appreciate it. But if you liked this or like talking about movies, please give me a like and think about subscribing. I would love it. I love movies, and I love to talk to other people that love movies. But see you next time, and thank you for joining me. And again, I love you all.